Social Security reverses course. Paper checks here to stay. A surprising turn of events. Social Security has decided to reverse its previous decision and will continue to send out paper checks. This move comes after the administration announced plans to cease issuing checks after September 30th in an effort to cut costs and minimize fraud by transitioning to electronic payments exclusively. However, the agency has reconsidered, confirming to dailymail.com that paper checks will still be available for those who have no other means of receiving their payments. Direct deposits cost approximately 15 cents, whereas paper checks incur a fee of around 50 cents per issuance. Despite the financial implications, the agency has committed to maintaining the option for individuals who require paper checks, including beneficiaries of retirement and disability benefits. While the decision marks a significant shift, the agency still encourages recipients to opt for direct deposit when possible. We will persistently work towards reducing the number of paper checks, which currently represent less than 1% of our total payments, a spokesperson stated. This change in policy follows a recent projection that warns of dire consequences for Social Security's retirement fund, which is expected to be depleted within just 7 years. This scenario could result in substantial benefit reductions for millions of beneficiaries. The policy reversal was prompted by opposition from Massachusetts Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren. Warren met with Social Security Commissioner Frank Bisignano and raised concerns over the discontinuation of paper checks. According to CBS News, she highlighted that around 600,000 Americans still depend on paper checks due to various reasons, including lack of access to traditional banking services. Bisignano assured Warren that no one would be left without a viable payment method. A significant portion of the American population remains unbanked, lacking traditional bank or credit union accounts. Factors contributing to this include past financial missteps, job loss, or insufficient funds to meet minimum balance requirements. These individuals often rely on alternative banking solutions, such as check cashing services, to access essential funds. However, paper checks pose a higher risk of theft, loss, or alteration compared to electronic transfers. For those who still receive paper checks but are capable of switching, there are options available. They can provide their bank account details or a prepaid debit card approved by the government for direct deposits. Registration can be completed through the GoDirect website, https://godirect.gov/GPW. The latest forecasts paint a bleak outlook for the future of the program. Social Security's retirement fund is projected to run out in just 7 years, potentially leading to significant benefit cuts for millions of Americans. Projections indicate that retirees might face automatic reductions of up to 24% as early as the end of 2032. For a couple retiring at the beginning of 2033, this translates to an annual loss of $18,100. The updated forecast from the Nonpartisan Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, CRFB, released recently, has moved up the insolvency date for both Social Security and Medicare trust funds. Previously, funds were estimated to last until 2033, but this estimate has since been revised. A key factor driving this change is the impact of President Donald Trump's Big Beautiful Bill, which experts warn will accelerate the depletion of funds. IRS scam. How to steal money from unsuspecting Americans. Imagine a world where receiving government payments is as simple as sending a text message. That's exactly what the United States government is striving for. And it's about to change how millions of Americans manage their finances forever. This isn't just another bureaucratic update. It's a life-altering shift that could impact half the country. But here's where it gets controversial. Not everyone is thrilled about leaving paper checks behind. In a bold move toward modernization, the IRS and Social Security Administration, SSA, have announced plans to phase out paper checks entirely by September 30th. Instead, they're embracing electronic transfers, prepaid cards, and digital wallets. Why? Because this approach aligns with presidential directives aimed at modernizing payment systems across the nation. By reducing reliance on paper, these changes promise faster transactions, enhanced security, and fewer opportunities for fraud or delays. The SSA has given its full support to the IRS in making these digital methods a reality. When tax refund season rolls around, individuals can expect to receive their funds via a digital wallet, prepaid card, or direct deposit into their bank account. The IRS has already rolled out secure systems that let people access their refunds using smartphones, tablets, or computers. And trust us, this is the part most people miss. You don't even need a traditional bank account anymore to participate fully. So why should you care about switching to a digital wallet? Let's break it down. A digital wallet allows you to receive payments directly through your phone. No more waiting for checks to arrive in the mail. No shipping fees, and significantly less risk of losing your payment or having it stolen. Plus, transfers happen almost instantly compared to the days or sometimes weeks it takes for a physical check to clear. It's also incredibly versatile. Whether you prefer direct deposits or using a card, all you need is your mobile device to complete the process within minutes. Now, let's talk options. The IRS offers several ways to receive payments. Direct deposit into a bank account, debit or credit card transactions, and digital wallets like PayPal or Click to Pay. For those without a bank account, federally approved prepaid cards are available too. Among these choices, the digital wallet stands out as the most flexible option. Why? Because it works seamlessly on any device and doesn't require a conventional banking setup. An advantage for the millions of Americans who are unbanked or underbanked. But this transformation isn't happening overnight. The federal government, working closely with the Department of the Treasury and the IRS, has made a firm commitment to ensuring that these new methods are implemented securely and inclusively. They've invested heavily in cybersecurity measures, data protection protocols, and accessibility features tailored to seniors and low-income households. After all, nobody wants their hard-earned money falling into the wrong hands. And here's the kicker. While the goal is to go fully digital, exceptions will still exist for unique situations. If someone truly cannot access banking services or faces an emergency situation, paper checks will remain an option, but only as a last resort. To ensure everyone feels prepared, the IRS and SSA are launching extensive educational campaigns to help citizens understand their options and get assistance if needed. These efforts underscore their dedication to supporting vulnerable populations during this transition. Still, some questions linger. Will older generations adapt easily to these tech-driven solutions? How will rural communities with limited internet access fare in this new system? And perhaps most importantly, do you agree that going fully digital is the best path forward? We want to hear your thoughts. Share your opinions in the comments below, whether you think this is a step in the right direction or believe there's room for improvement. Social Security's decision to keep paper checks. What you need to know. In a surprising reversal, the Social Security Administration has abandoned its push to force millions of beneficiaries into digital banking, proving that even in our tech-driven world, paper still holds power for vulnerable populations. The agency announced Wednesday it will continue mailing paper checks to retirees and disability recipients who lack access to electronic payment methods, scrapping a controversial October deadline for full digital transition. But here's where it gets controversial. While electronic transfers are faster and cheaper, critics argue abandoning paper checks would have stranded nearly 600,000 Americans, many elderly, disabled, or living in banking deserts. The policy U-turn follows intense pressure from Senator Elizabeth Warren, DMA, who confronted Social Security Commissioner Frank Bisignano about the risks of excluding check-dependent beneficiaries. When you're talking about people who've mailed paper forms their entire lives, suddenly demanding they download apps or manage direct deposits isn't progress, it's abandonment, Warren stated during a fiery press briefing. Bisignano ultimately pledged that paper checks will remain available indefinitely for those who need them, though the agency will still encourage switching to electronic options. Here's what most people miss. The check debate exposes a hidden financial crisis. Over 20% of households led by seniors are either unbanked, no bank account, or underbanked, relying on costly check cashing services, per AARP data. Imagine being an 80-year-old widow paying $15 fees just to cash her $1,500 monthly benefit. That's the reality for many. While electronic transfers cost taxpayers just 15 cents versus 50 cents per paper check, Warren and advocates counter that forcing digital adoption ignores systemic barriers like rural internet gaps and elderly tech anxiety. The controversy deepened as Warren challenged recent staffing cuts at the Social Security Administration. demanding an audit of worsening service metrics. Though wait times for phone assistance dropped from 30 to 18 minutes this year, field offices still face hour-long queues. We're rationing help to our grandparents, Warren argued, pointing to a 25% backlog in disability claims. An agency spokesperson countered that modernization efforts are accelerating payments 5 months ahead of schedule. But is efficiency worth the human cost? Now we want to hear from you. Should government prioritize cost-saving digitization even if it excludes vulnerable citizens? Or is preserving paper checks a lifeline we can't afford to cut? Share your take below. This debate hits at the heart of how we treat aging populations in the digital age.